Welcome to FADA-TV, the video channel created by and for new car dealers and brought to you by the Florida Automobile Dealers Association.
Hi, it's Ted Smith, and this is another edition of FADA Enews. You know, I've got some great news for you. The Fed's NHTSA has passed a final rule which is going to allow DMV to set up complete e-documents for you. No more wet signatures on odometer forms. They've passed this final rule. It's now going to be up to DMV to set up the procedures. It's probably going to take a little bit of time, but finally we're going to be able to do all of our documents online and get the customer's signatures. You'll be able to send the information electronically to your tax collectors. Can't wait to see how that unfolds in the next few months. There's another huge issue going on in Congress right now. You may have read that Congress wants to ban the sale of used cars with open recalls. Now, if you know recalls like car people know recalls, we know that would be a huge mess. So this is a battle over, should you just disclose to customers, which is what all of you are doing, or should you have to park those cars? We, of course, are opposing the parking of those cars because we know that if we do that, we disrupt the whole trade-in system in Florida and the consumer loses. You'll do fine, but consumers will lose. So that's an ongoing battle. NADA has studied this issue. I just returned from a meeting in Chicago, gave us some really good information. This is a difficult subject. We'll stay on top of it for you. Now, ADA claims on your websites, you know, the inability of people who might be blind, deaf, to have readers and audio devices to see and utilize the information on your websites, that's very important to consumers. Unfortunately, it's become very important to law firms, and there have been a number of claims against dealers. We're working with some vendors to help you with that specific problem, but stay tuned, and if you're not aware this is a problem, you're in line to get a lawsuit, so please pay attention to that and ask for more information from us. Right now, FADA is doing what we always do. We're challenging your OEMs when they color outside the lines, when they violate Florida franchise law. We have programs right now from Ford Motor Company, Lincoln, Jaguar, Land Rover, Mitsubishi, and Hyundai, and we've contacted those OEMs and we've said to them, we believe that your programs violate certain sections of Florida law. So we're on top of that, which we'll continue to do. It's nice to have franchise laws, but they're only good if they can be enforced to protect your stores. You may have read in automotive news that California has just enacted the most difficult privacy law having to do with the information that comes into your systems and what vendors have access to that and how you protect that information. That's a super huge problem for California dealers. We want to make sure it's not a problem for you. We'll be watching the legislative process here in Florida this year. If that were to be enacted in Florida, it could cost you $250,000 a year. $250,000. So very important that you participate in FADA. I think all of you are aware that we've made a major push for CarPack this year, but the second part of our Connect 2019 program was asking you to get reconnected with members of the House and Senate. You know, the folks that live right in your home district, in your home area, and they make decisions about the future of your business. So I want to ask you again to reconnect with them. Well, why? There's a company called Rivian. You're reading about them in automotive news. They went into the Colorado legislature and tried to pass a law that said all EVs should be able to be sold directly to the consumer, not necessarily through an OEM or through a dealership connected to an OEM. That's horrible legislation for our franchise system. The Colorado dealers had to respond to a buried amendment and respond quickly. They were able to kill that piece of legislation. But that's just an example of why you need to be connected to your House and Senate members. You need to meet them, ask them out to lunch. The legislature starts in January. Strive to have a meeting with your local House or Senate member and just talk about your business. Talk about why the franchise system is important. If you will do that, it will set us up in the Florida legislature to have meaningful conversations about why your dealership and our franchise system is the best for consumers. You know, your association, we've had your back since 100 years ago. We're getting ready to celebrate that anniversary. So We are shaping this $75 billion industry for you every day. We're going to have your back for another 100 years. Thanks for being involved with us.